Hello and welcome to my channel, Inspirational, Nighttime Reading for Adults. The intention is to share inspirational texts I might be reading anyway, a good way to end the day. Tonight I'm going to be reading from one of my favorite books of all time. It's called In the Wheat, Songs in Your Presence by Charles L. Singolani. This is written by a man, a poet friend I met online many years ago, who in his youth studied at the seminary for the priesthood. He took his experiences there and created this incredibly beautiful book of poetry. It's actually one long poem. It just vibrates with God energy. In fact, every time you see the word you, it's written with a capital Y to indicate God. It just never ceases to inspire me. I pull this book out whenever I feel the need, a little pick-me-up. And certainly before bed, it helps you to rest with just a light, beautiful feeling. So I hope you enjoy it. If it's still in print, I'll put the link down below. If you like it, or the piece I'm going to read, please buy it. I get nothing from it, but I want to support all my writer friends as best I can. Okay, again, In the Wheat, Songs in Your Presence by Charles L. Singolani. So beautiful. Chapter 1. When we were boys, you were so much closer. We could almost touch you, we thought. There were days when you were as close as the warm gold of candles and the shafts of grass on the path near the lake. One thing we knew was this: to be with you, we had to leave cities and change. So 120 came in black and vied with one another to see who could serve you best. On the way, I saw Ohioan cathedrals of silos and trees and orderly homes on farms like churches, and you standing out there in the middle of the harvest. You brought us together from the sidewalks of America with our calloused hands and scuffed knees, and we felt forlorn and ill at ease in jackets and ties, and no one mentioned our bicycles left behind or our saddened dogs. See, every time I read that, I get a chill right up the back of my neck, imagining these young boys with their passion for God leaving their homes. Soon we began to sew tight seams of friendship, knowing that each of us cherished the same desire, one day, after endless naves of longing, to ascend those steps and stand clad as priests before your altar. You woke us from our lethargy, fired us with energy, and drove beyond every plane of recognition to a garden of intimacy with apples from every tree. You were so overwhelming for boys that we lost interest in rhetoric, algebra, and Greek, and would rather have fled to darkened chapels to dance in panting prayer around your altars, like minstrels, clowns, or troubadours. We would let ourselves fall when in your presence and felt you catch us without question, like a basin welcoming water, but knew the formal usage frowned upon that. In our minds, there was no doubt that you were near. Can you remember us cascading down long slopes and laughing, knowing that you were waiting on the path down at the water's edge to catch us? We were taught to walk slowly and sit erect with hands resting lightly on our thighs, just behind the knees, and not one of us ever thought of asking why that had to be. We never asked ourselves if we believed it was you we held in breath on our tongues for those 10 brief moments of ecstatic oneness. We were told to live in silence like seeds have in soil, that we might one day break through and flower. But we preferred our cell-like chapel where fragrance breathed from linen and wood, and you could lure us with faint remains of liturgies long performed, so we lingered there and forgot about the flowering. You said things to us in silence that fell into deep furrows of understanding. So changed were we that only on reading about Francis did we begin to fathom what had happened to us. We had to speak to you from black prayer books, thumb marked with use, but secretly pursued other, worldless ways like kneeling without moving, or sitting with hand to head musing, or watching a stained glass window kindle with morning light. Do you remember how each of us had his own special way of genuflecting and entering the pew without stepping on the smooth leather matting? We wondered how priests who told us about you could bear to busy themselves with things other than chalices, amices, and palls, and tear themselves away, even for an hour, from all those intimacies we longed for. We knew you expected from us Latin, and we studied it to make our tongues say those words you wanted. but sulked that Cicero was given all that attention in your stead. Often when kneeling, I would gaze at the grain in the wood and wonder if I had come upon ciphered words to understand written boldly in your flowing hand. We were just boys, no wonder you liked us. Remember how we sat up straight and learned to meditate on you mornings at 6 when outside the sun was picking her way up the iced crystal birch tree? How we learned the countless columns of words in Latin, French, and Greek, stacking them to reach you with, we masons in Babel, till they fell down around us and we, with dusty tongues, sat speechless on our hill of rubble. You speak a different language that only boys burning with fervor can understand and translate into hidden silent gestures. And you know what? It goes on and on and on. I'll read some more of that tomorrow night. Thank you for listening. This is my first attempt. It's very informal. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know. And bonne nuit and good night and sweet dreams. Bless you.